You can tell someone,
Oh, I still gonna record it. Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you can tell someone how to hit a baseball or hit a softball, right? You can tell someone how to kick a soccer ball. But at the end of the day, the only way they're going to learn is by actually going out and practicing. And when they don't get the results that they want, they have to adapt and change their processes or the way they approach it, and then they try it again, right? And that's how I kind of learned. And my sponsor, Rob Flick. So let me give a little backstory because maybe
Yep.
not everybody knows the
Yeah.
backstory. So
Yeah. So absolutely. So let me like officially start the meeting now.
okay,
So
okay,
everybody,
got
thank
it.
you so much for. I see. We didn't even start a meeting, and we already jump in and deliver so much value, right? So
Sorry. Okay.
everybody, this is a mystery guest today. I'm so excited to welcome you, Wilco, and welcome everybody here, and especially Wilco. Thank you so much for your time. Um, uh,
Absolutely.
but yeah, go ahead and continue. Give a little bit of background of who's Wilco is and who sponsored you into EXP, who Roughlick is, and why are you here with us?
Yeah. No, I'm excited to be here and I appreciate it. And yeah, so my backstory is I'm from Holland originally, and I actually turned down a soccer contract to play soccer in Holland to come to the United States. I was really drawn to the entrepreneurial spirit of America, pursuing the American dream. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to do something. And the opportunity in America is so much greater than a lot of other countries in the world. So we probably realizes this a lot of times. Americans, I don't mean to be derogatory
I
or anything, a
know,
lot of times
I know,
Americans just don't know what they have here, and it's just
exactly.
incredible. So anyway, I I got a soccer scholarship, played soccer for 4 years, got drafted by an Indo-professional soccer team in Dallas, and I played some professional and some semi-pro soccer for a couple of years. And then I realized, okay, I'm not going to get rich playing soccer. And I was actually kind of financially. So I was like, okay, I came to the United States to be an entrepreneur. What am I going to do? Well, soccer was kind of my thing. So I decided I'm going to do soccer skills for kids. And then I learned that you could make quite a lot of money actually coaching teams. So I started building soccer teams. Well, you can only coach so many soccer teams, right? You can only show up so many hours out of the day and the week to coach. So I could only maximize coaching 4 soccer teams. And then I started thinking, okay, how do I do more of this? So I started my own club and I started recruiting soccer coaches. Okay, now they
Ah,
could coach teams, and I could make a residual on managing that process, right? So I built a soccer club from 3 kids basically to 65 teams and 25 coaches. And I did that over like a period of like 10 years. And I was in 3 different locations in Dallas, Fort Worth. And I didn't know it at the time, but I was kind of running like a little brokerage, right?
I
So
know.
the 25 coaches were my agents and they had their clients, right? And I'm facilitating. I was basically doing everything. I was, doing all the administrative stuff, hiring and firing coaches, doing payroll, building the website. And I hadn't learned that delegation is a skill. I didn't learn that. I was just, okay, this is what I have to do. And I was working so hard. I was working 60, 70 hours a week. And I would never I had my own family at that point, and I would never see my kids. So I just got burned out. And it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something because I learned that I was only making money when I show up, right? When I show up to the soccer fields, that's the only time I was making money. And I love doing it, but I also wanted to spend time with my family. So I wanted to figure out a way on how to still continue to generate income, but also have more time, right? And as real estate agents, that's something that we all experience is we're doing so much production, but you only make money when you open that door for a showing. You only make money when you show up to the listing appointment. So you got to figure out different ways on how to generate income without showing up, and that's leverage, right? And so I started learning about real estate investing. I got my real estate license and I started accumulating rental properties because that's how I learned on how I could build wealth, number one, and generate passive income. So in this process, I met a gentleman named Rob Flick, and he had recruited like 40,000 agents to Keller Williams. And at the time, EXP only had like 400 agents. So he said, hey, Wilco, you have your real estate license, right? I said, yes. And he said, I want to show you this new platform that I believe is going to change the entire real estate industry. And so I said, okay, well, I want to see it. So he shows me EXP. And I join EXP, and he starts saying, hey, do you know any real estate agents? I was like, yeah, no, I know a couple. Let's start meeting with them. So that's kind of how we started with EXP. And in the beginning, my goal was like, if I can make $1,000 or $2,000 in passive income from EXP, great. And that's how I started. I had no idea what was going to happen and what the potential was. So I just started really small, started very simple. I didn't overcomplicate it, and it just started growing from there. And that's kind of how we got started. So
Man, I didn't know, Wilco, you I know you for so long, and I actually didn't know that you actually have a background on recruiting soccer coach. How,
yes.
how hard was that compared to recruiting agent?
Well, that's a great question, because it actually wasn't much different. The
Oh, okay.
process, the language was different,
Uh-huh.
but the process and principles were the same.
Okay, could
So
you speak a little more about that on the process of, let's say, if you see a good soccer coach, how would you break the ice and kind of bring them, get them interested in working, partnering with you?
it's a great question. So
Yeah.
what I would do is I would I would see them on the sideline coaching a soccer game, and I would go up to them. It's like, hey, whoever, Skylar, man, your team plays so well. How do you do that? How do you get them to play so well? So I ask them a question, give them a compliment, or give them a compliment, ask them a question, and start a conversation, right? Build some rapport. And then the next week, I would call them and I would say, hey, listen, I'd like to meet up with you. I want to talk to you about some things that I'm working on in my club, and I want to share them with you. And they would say, okay, cool, let's go have coffee, let's go have lunch. So I would set the appointment and I would go meet with them. And then I would ask them, are you happy at Solar or Texans or FC Dallas? Are you happy where you're at? What are you doing? How are they paying you? And they would tell me their problems. I would just ask them questions.
I see.
And then I would position my club in a way that I can help them solve their problems. So I'd say, well, I'll tell you what, we are actually looking to expand our club. This is how I might be able to help you. Your players could have a better experience at my organization. We have this to offer. We have that to offer. We are a better location. You're going to get paid better or whatever. I would create the opportunities for them to say, I'm interested. Right. And so the process that of recruiting real estate agents is the same process of recruiting buyers, of recruiting sellers, because at the end of the day, what do you want to do with a seller? You want to call them, talk to them, build some rapport, find out their motivation, their timing, why they are moving. You want to build a little bit of that, and then you want to set the appointment.
Yeah.
With very casual, no pressure. Hey, I want to meet up with you. I want to do a CMA and give you all the information that you need so that when you're ready, that you have that information, whether it's with me or another agent. I'm going to sit down and help you out. Right. Or with the buyer. Hey, tell me about what kind of a neighborhood you want to live in. Tell me about what kind of a house. Why do you want to have a new house? Tell me about your family. Tell me about your occupation. What do you like to do when you're not doing, what do you like to do in your free time, right? And then you want to set that appointment. Well, why don't we sit down? I'm going to build a plan for you that you will be able to have some homes, to go look at, or at least set you up and show you the process that it's going to take for you to buy a house or get you what you want, right? Something that, yeah. So the process and the principles are identical. It's not that much different.
Man, so just to translate that into, something concrete that everybody can write down, what we call just talk about, is actually step number 1 and number 2, in what we call the art of the invite. So step number 1, we'll go, correct me if I'm wrong, we have to first, establish a relationship, some kind of relationship. with the other agent first, right? Before you start anything, right? Don't just, you know, get people down the streets like, hey, you know, come join EXP with me, right? They don't know you, you don't know me, you know, have some kind of relationship. And for you, you know, be in the soccer field, or, you know, for us, you know, be in the real estate industry, right? We have so much connection with any other with other agent, and especially with Tyler. When you produce high, when you're in high production, man, you know, you have no idea, Tyler, but people look up to you, right? But sometimes you need to be the guy who walk to the side coach and say like, hey, you know, my name is Tyler. I really like what you're doing over there. You know, let's have some coffee and mastermind, right? It's just something casual like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, guys, is that everybody's a little different. I like to take a kind of a multi-stage selling process, multi-step. That's what I call it. Some people, and we go through this in the video, is like Amanda and Jeff, I think Brent, they're way more direct. They might have done a deal with an agent and they just go straight to the point. And everybody's a little bit different. You got to figure out what works for you. Okay. And the only way to figure that out, you know, Cristiano Ronaldo is a total different player than Lionel Messi, but they're both great players. So there's different approaches, different styles, and you just got to practice to find the different style. My style is I like to build relationships. You know, I like to establish connections, and you can do that in a 5-minute conversation. It doesn't have to be like, you know, going to parties or whatever, you know, like it's a simple conversation and asking the right questions. So
I love that. Talking about, you know, different style, I want to touch on that a little bit, because the good thing is that now, you know, one of the things I love about our group, Wilco, you know, we are willing to help each other. It doesn't matter, you know, what line are you in. So one of my personal example, you know, actually, I was trying to attract this agent, and I have been always trying to go around, if you will, you know, like the multi-step approach, and I could never really like close him, if you will, right? I never asked a hard question. And one day I just bring one of my leader with, it just happened randomly. I would go to lunch. I just, you know, like try to circle him around. And I just happened to bring one of my leader to the table, and she's super direct. She just sit down, and before the guy could eat, she just asked him directly like, hey, you know, X, Y, and Z, why are you wasting free time? Why are you not with EXP yet? Oh my God, you know, we didn't even eat yet. And, you know, it was so intense. And she just like closed him right there and then, you know. So yes, so just to compliment on your point, Wilco, different people, they have different style of closing. In your group, you have to figure it out, right? And then you have to match the right closer. You know, you have to match the right prospect to the right closer, right? I cannot close that guy because I'm not very super direct, you know, but somebody strong, you know, with a direct approach, like what you say above, they just need the nail right there and then, and they don't care. That's like, why are you wasting, you know, free time? Why are you not with EXP yet? Wham!
Yeah, but I think what the key thing that you demonstrated there, is that you set an appointment.
Exactly.
The art of the invite, it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you get the appointment.
Exactly.
That's the goal of the invite, is to get them to sit down, and so you can present to them a different platform for them to run their business on. Exactly. And conceptually, that's what I like to do, is I like to present EXP as a partner, a platform that agents can leverage to expand their sales business, but also to build wealth and to build passive income. And you can't do that on any other platform. Keller Williams is a platform, Coldwell Banker is a platform, but they have different outcomes. You know, a lot of those platforms are only focused on production. Well, EXP is focused on production. They give you tools. So you got to find out in your conversations with your prospects what their pains and their gains are. What do they want? Are they tired of production? Are they wanting more production? You know, a brand new agent isn't going to be as interested in stock or revenue share as an agent that's been in the business for 10, 15 years. An agent that's been in a business for 10, 15 years, they already know how to produce. What they're looking for is, how do I scale my business? How do I continue to make money and maybe invest less time so I can do more of the things I want to do with my family or travel or whatever? So it might be a different conversation, but you don't know. You can't make assumptions that a brand new agent only wants production. Like I was a brand new agent. I didn't want to I didn't want production. So you can't always make that assumption. But generally speaking, you can kind of go into a conversation thinking, oh, this is a newer agent. They might, and then you just ask questions to explore what they want. That's what you need to know is you have to be a farmer. You have to ask questions, you know. You can't just be a hunter and say, hey, this is what you are. You are this person, you need to join EXP. Like you got to find out how EXP fits in their, with their desires, their wants, their long-term dreams. And that's all about asking the right questions.
Yeah. And in fact, you know, in a conversation, Wilco, what I noticed that, you know, the people who ask the question is going to be in charge of the conversation. So if you refer to your book, and everybody, by the way, write this book down, go pitch anything, it's going to be the best book that you ever read when it comes to, you know, like selling and, you know, pitching. And especially the book for me, Wilco, it teach me to always have control of the conversation. So I know exactly when I lose control of the conversation, right? Just by question. And you always try to be the one who, you know, dictated the conversation, not so that you manipulate the conversation, but just so that, you know, you can get your point across. And then, you know, you understand more about the other person. And then, you know, you get off the phone in like, you know, 5-10 minutes instead of spending 30 minutes or an hour on the phone and you're getting nowhere. So you really have like a blueprint, you know, when it comes to, when it comes to a really meaningful conversation, a really effective conversation.
Yeah. And what Hui means with controlling the conversation and maintaining your posture and your authority or saving face, right? Because if you're like, hey, I really need your help, I really want your time, thank you so much for your time, I apologize for disrupting you, like your posture, you have no posture, you have no respect, you see. So you got to maintain your respect, and it's a 50-50 partnership, okay, when you are talking to your prospect. Same thing with your buyer. If your buyer, you're not going to show a bunch of homes for your buyer if they're not qualified, or they're never going to qualify for a loan unless they pay in cash. How are they going to pay for the home? So you're going to show someone 100 homes if they can't even qualify for a very basic loan? No, you're not going to do that. Okay, maybe you help them find a lease, but if your goal is doing leases, then that's fine. But if your goal is to sell homes and get bigger commissions, you need to qualify your prospect, right? And so, you know, in this book, they teach you how to qualify them. And if they agree to something, then you will do something for them. So like, it's called If I, Would You? Hey, if I showed you a different way on how you can run your real estate business to accomplish your dream of traveling to Europe and staying there for a month, would you be open-minded to taking a look at it?
Oh man, I don't see why not, Wilco.
I mean, so I maintained my posture. I qualified him. I said, if you do this, no, if I were to do this for you, would you do something for me?
Yeah, and it worked 80% of the time.
Yeah, and so I mean, anyway, we're kind of throwing things together. It's not really a uniform process.
No,
but
it is in a very good form, Wilco. I don't know if you noticed, but what you just go over is like the first 3 steps of inviting. You know, for step number 1, you know, you establish the connection, right? Number 2, you know, you compliment that person on something, and then, you know, if you you haven't attended the last call, but we talk about the relationship score. So, you know, we have a relationship score of 1 to 10 with each person. So let's say for you, I know you pretty well, right? I would say a 7 above 5. So, and for anybody above 5, you can actually move right on, and then, you know, asking the if I would you question, and then immediately, you know, book them for an appointment, all right, or a meeting, or, you know, some kind of event that your group is having. And speaking of that, Wilco, you want to talk about the event that you're gonna have with Rockflick on next week?
yes. In fact, do you mind if I share my screen real quick?
No, absolutely. Go ahead. Let me make you a co-host.
Okay.
Can you still share without can you see the green button? Let's say share screen.
Not yet. I think you have to make me a co-host.
Okay, there you go. Yep, you are now.
There we go. Okay. So Robflick has created multiple millionaires. I mean, I would say over 100 millionaires. Okay. So this is a way that you could approach an agent in Dallas or wherever. And the link, by the way, is in the chat. So you should have access to that. If you don't, let us know. We'll put it back in there. But this is something that you could talk to an agent and say, hey, listen, I'm going to an event next week. It's a paid event. If I were to book you for the event, would you come with me? It's lunch is included. And what we're sharing, there's going to be a speaker there. And I really want to listen to what he has to say. He's developed multiple millionaires in a real estate model that is really unique and different. And I want you to come and take a look and listen to him. And plus, there's a couple of agents there that I want to introduce you to that are doing like $100 million in sales. And they're just incredible people. And I think you'd really benefit from listening to them. Right. And
Wow,
so
look at that.
Yeah. So this would be an event that you could invite an agent to.
Yep. Well, I mean, if you can just sit people in front of Raflik Wilco, your close rate, I would say, is like 90% and above, because the way he does the presentation, his story, his sharing with, it's very authentic. And yeah, it just inspired me, and I guess everybody here in the call so much.
Yeah. And if you, the reason we're charging $5 for the ticket is just the last time we had the event, we had a lot of people register, but then they didn't show up, right? So if you know you're going to be there, let me know. I'll send you a code and you can register for free, right? So you don't have to pay the $5. But we're just kind of putting that out there so that, people actually take it serious.
Yep, absolutely. Well, so we'll go. Let me just bring up Mai. I believe Mai, are you on the chat? So that way me we can take a little break.
Yes, I am here.
Yeah. So Mai, Wilco. So this is Mai. She's actually a very new agent in our group.
Okay.
But my God, the way she invite people, it just like blew me away, right? It's just so authentic, and the way she just set me up, she like in a way you kind of set me up for success already. So it might sound like I do all the work, in a meeting, but really the legwork that you do before that in order to set me up with a prospect. To be honest, I never seen anybody that set me up like that. So could you explain a little bit on how you connect with your agent, your friend, and how do you invite them to meet on a three-way coffee with me?
Okay, no problems. So honestly, like I think before I joined EXP, like my personality is that I love connecting with people, especially other agents. I don't know why, but it's always come naturally to me to trying to understand their business, how they run their business, and create like a relationship with them. So even before I joined EXP, like me and these agents that we've met, we already have like a friendship going on. So every once in a while, we would meet up for coffee or for like a lunch and just to catch up. So the relationship and the connection is already there. And so when I joined EXP, everybody knows like how much like I love Remax. So whenever I left Remax and I joined EXP, I think most of my realtor friends there were pretty like surprised, and so they wanted to know like why did I make the move. And so like whenever we're in like a new relationship, we're so excited about it, and we always have like the greatest things to say about like the person that we're dating. So I feel like EXP new person I'm dating right now, like he's like this new person in my life. I'm so excited to tell all of my friends about all the great things that this like EXP has to offer, but from my perspective and without being like a salesperson, because I feel like personally the biggest turnoff is to be a salesperson, and that's not me at all.
Yeah.
So when I tell people about EXP, it's just my own personal experience. And since I'm so new to EXP, like I don't have anything to like back me up. So I would use Hui track records, and I would use Amanda's track records. And I would use like May fans track records and how great they are, and how like not only they're like producing, but they have like this like passive income that can help them in the future, you know. I would just casually mention like, hey, if you would like to meet like up, connect with them. As I would love to set you guys up for like a coffee date. You know, it's no pressure. It's just it doesn't hurt to know more people in this industry. And I left it at that. And the thing about me is like I respect their decisions. And if they would say no, I would respect that and just leave it at that. And if they would say yes, then I would jump on it and I would set up a coffee date with Min and Hui.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow,
That's
Wilco, did
fantastic.
you hear that? Did you hear that? It was so good.
Well, and you know, what you're doing, Mai, is that you are doing in when you work with buyers and sellers, right? There's a lot of marketing that happens before the sale. So
Yeah.
when what you're doing is you're doing the marketing before the pitch, before the invite. So the better marketing you have, the easier it is for the invite. So where people often fall short is they don't put a lot of work into the marketing, the initial part, the relationship, and the sale becomes harder, and then they get frustrated with the sale because they're not getting enough yeses, and it takes a lot more calls to get a yes versus if you invest a little bit more time in the marketing side, in the relationship side with people, you have more success, you have a bigger you know, yeses for the invite. So and you just have to have courage. You know, you can tell you're not afraid to hear a no. You're just being casual. And that was a big mindset shift for me, because in the beginning, I was very nervous to ask people to learn about EXP because I always felt like I was just recruiting them. I was just being salesy. But this is the way you have to think about EXP is at this point in time, most people, they know about EXP, but they don't necessarily understand it. Or they've heard about EXP in the wrong way. And they haven't really sat down to really see the people behind that are building massive businesses at EXP and how many and how much influence you can expand your business in with just working with buyers and sellers. You know, there's so many things that people don't understand. And if you take a mindset of, hey, I'm just going to be an educator. I'm not going to sell anybody. I'm just going to share with them what we do. I'm not going to pressure anybody. It's going to be cool. You know? So, and I can tell that's your approach because you're very casual about it. It's no big deal. Hey, if you don't want to hear about it, that's totally fine. But these are the things that these are some of the stories of success that we have had from other agents in our group. And that's an excellent strategy, is using stories, because stories tell, facts tell. If you just tell the facts about EXP, you're just telling people. It doesn't sell them. The stories is what gets them convinced. Like, oh wow, you're telling me that you got this Tyler guy to cap, not even cap, but
icon.
Got him an icon, and he got $16,000 worth of stock in his first year in real estate. You need to meet this guy. You need to meet the people that have helped this person get $16,000 worth of retirement stock in one of the fastest growing real estate companies in the history of real estate. That's the story that people want to know about. How did that happen? How? Who? You know, so many great stories that you can use for different people, you know? So that's awesome.
I agree. And I guess the last thing I want to say is like our reputations is really important. You know, like before we starting telling people about EXP or like how we present ourselves to the other agents, you know, when we work with them, how do we express ourselves professionally? Are we professional? Are we respectful? Are we like knowledgeable? You know, all of that is like in the entire, like gather up in the entire package. So I think it's really important. So before we start like going out and attract other agents, we really need to like reevaluate ourselves, you know, and how we conduct our business.
Yeah,
absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, and what's really great about the journey, if you decide to take revenue share serious and you become a professional, then the journey that you're going to take, what's going to be more valuable than the actual revenue share is the leader and the influencer that you are going to need to become to be able to attract other people's businesses, right? And so that is the value. Money is just a reflection
A
of
byproduct.
energy and value, right? So if you become a person of value, you're going to attract business. You will not be able to stop helping buyers, helping sellers, helping agents. You are becoming someone different. And that's the way you need to look at it. So if you look at it from, oh, I have 10 people I want to call, don't look at it. Don't look at the results. Look at the process that you are going to become a better person. You're going to become a person of value, because that's how you are going to succeed, you know?
Yes.
And so once these are all things that happened to me. I didn't realize these things, but you know, now I partner with people that are doing millions and millions of dollars in real estate. I don't do that, but I can add other pieces of value to their business and partner with them, you know, and that there's a transformation that happens to you that is just incredible, you know. And so I encourage all of you, become that person, or at least go on that journey, whether you become successful at revenue share or not. The process that you're going to go through, the transformation that you're going to go through is going to help you in your life, in everything you do, because you have to become a leader. You have to become an influencer. You're going to be a better person for your family. You're going to have a better view of yourself. There's so many benefits in you deciding to take this journey to develop revenue share that it's worthwhile doing, you know? So anyway.
Man, Wilco, that was so good. And you know, just I just gonna pick your answer because you know your answer is just so rich with content, right? So number one, you know, curiosity, right? You know, you are so curious in other people business, right? Just like, hey, how you do that? You know, just like genuine curiosity, right? And we kind of lose that as we grow up as a child. You know, the child is always asking you, hey, what's that? How's that work, right? And then I don't know why, you know, when we grow up as adult, you know, we kind of lose interest in the curiosity. So number one, be curious, right? Be curious in about other people business, you know, how they do things, and especially how you can help them, right? The more you find out about their business, the more you're gonna be able to help them. And then number two, yeah, my God, I can feel your energy vibrating, you know, through the entire Zoom right now, right? You are just so excited about your new date, this called EXP, right? And people, you know, they feel the energy. It doesn't matter what you say, Wilco. It doesn't matter what you say, Mike, but I feel your energy. Whatever you say, I just gonna go there and I just want to be sitting next to you because I want to feel the energy, which is, you know, kind of hard to find in the real estate industry, right? You know, people is negative, you know, people always try to compete with each other. You know, when I see some people that is so positive like mine, I just want to stay close with her. I don't care where she at. I don't care what she does, but let me just stay close with her. So I think, you know, everybody here in the Zoom, you can feel that, right? It's not something we speak. It's not something we can hear, but you can feel the energy. And that is, you know, that is like I would say the lethal when it comes to Asian attraction, right? You can feel that. Wilco, any comment? Yeah. And then, oh yeah, one more thing I would say, you are so good at leverage other people track record, right? You are so excited. You know, I'm so excited about EXP. You know, Bobby, I'm so excited, but I don't know enough to talk about it. You need to meet this person, right? She's a part-time agent. She icon 2 years in a row. She got, you know, 32,000 in the stock back. You need to meet the guy. You know, I'm gonna use your script now, Wilco. You need to meet the guy who helped May get to that level, right? If you think May is cool, wait until you meet this guy, right? He's a multi-year icon. He's do a bunch of flip. You know, he run a bunch of Airbnb. He just set me up so well that, you know, Wilco, you have no idea. When I walk into, you know, the coffee shop, the lead look at me is he was already wrapped. I know I already won the battle even before I walk in. So in the meeting, although it looked like that I do a lot of the talking, but man, a lot of the work was done by Mai already. So my kudos for you for that. I never seen anybody that done the art of the invite, you know, this perfect. So
well, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, but yep. But yeah, I guess you know, we can kind of open it up to the floor now. You know, we have the detail of the step of the invite. You know, after you book the invite, you know, you need to confirm with them, and then you double confirm with them on a commitment. But man, if you can just get one thing right today, just have curiosity in other people, and then, you know, share your excitement and say your energy, and then invite people to, you know, to have a one-on-one with your senior business partner, right? We have so many amazing closer here. We'll go back then. event, it's just me, you, and Amanda, right? Right
Yeah.
now in the group, we have so many closer, and back to your point in the beginning, every closer we have different way of closing people, and you know, the resource that are available at your hand is just so many for you to pick on. You can pick me, you can pick Kai, you can pick May, you know, you can pick Wilco, you can pick Jeff, you can pick Amanda, you can bring out a big gun,
Yeah.
you know, Wilco over here. It's just you have so many, you know, resource to help you in Asian attraction. And then the event we put on Wilco, you know, not only EXP Explain event, you know, but we have a lot of event about lead generation, about, you know, business building. It's just a lot of value to add to other people and other brokers. They are struggling, right? They don't know how to
Yeah.
run event. They don't know how to do training.
Well,
and then
the community that we have, not just with Team Legacy, but at EXP in general, is the community is about abundance, right? So it's not about scarcity. And that's a fundamental philosophy that I had to go through a transformation about 10 years ago, because as a soccer player, when you play sports, there's a winner and then there's a loser, right? So you think in life, there are winners and there are losers. And you kind of get the scarcity mentality where not everybody can be a winner. But that is not true. It's not true, right? So everybody can be a winner, because this is the thing. You might lose one game, but you can end up, there's so many different competitions. There's the World Cup, there's the European Championship, there's the National League, there's different levels of leagues, right? Yep. So you can be a champion within your area, within your niche. That is extremely valuable. Anybody can be a champion. You can be a champion with FISBOs. You can be a champion with expires. Like, you know, there's so many different ways on how you can become successful. And success is also very much differently defined by a lot of different people.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm getting off track, but what I was going back to was that the community that you guys have, that is extremely valuable. And in most brokerages, they don't have that because there's a little bit more of a scarcity mentality, right? There's only the people within a brokerage, a lot of those agents, they don't benefit from other agents becoming successful in that brokerage. And at EXP, that's not the case. So at EXP, the mindset is about abundance. Everybody can become wealthy with revenue share or stock. And some people do it differently. Some people do it with stock. Some people do it with revenue share. Some people do it with sales. So there's the community that you guys have is a massive selling point. So use that, say, and share that with other agents, you know? So anyway.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm gonna end. You know, I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end the call with this note, and then we're gonna open up the floor for questions. You know, in the spirit of World Cup, right? I'm gonna steal this from Bettina because I heard this from her last call. You know, think of us like a soccer field, like a soccer team, right? Wilco. You know, there's a defender. There's people play on the midfield, and then you know, how you call it? There's the aggressor who scored a goal, right? Your goal as a midfield player is to intercept the ball, you know, and then pass it, you know, to the person in the front. So that way they can score the goal for you, right? If you try to score the goal by yourself, it's going to be very hard for you to score the goal from all the way back to your... Yep. Are you there?
You are.
Yeah. So I was trying to say that, you know, if you're playing midfield or if you're playing the defender, it's going to be so hard for you to close the goal, right? Pass the ball to me, pass the ball to your senior business leader, pass the ball to Jeff, to Wilco, to Amanda. Allow us to score the goal for you, right? It's a team effort. Yeah. So I just want to end with that in the spirit of, you know, FIFA World Cup. Yeah. So we're gonna open up the floor for question. Let's see if we have any question related to the other invite, and then next week we're gonna you know, dive in on event, right? What event is so important to us? So, you know, tune in for next week. Yeah, so we're doing like a 6-week sprint, you know, from now for the next 6 week, you know, I'm gonna run the series, and then after that we have all this video. We can, you know, upload it to your website, so that way, you know, we have another video, you know, on the same topic that they can refer back to.
Love it. That's awesome.
Cool. Any question, guy, before we head off and maybe watch the next soccer game? Yeah. Hey, Gab.
I do have a question.
Hey, I know you're gonna have a question. Hi, Kevin. What's up?
Huy. I will go.
Hey,
so my struggle right now is just to try to talk to a high production agent. how do you overcome the fear? Or sorry, how
I
do
don't.
you overcome that fear? Or you know, like as an agent, I want to recruit or I want to talk to a higher production or higher level agent, and I am in that zone where I like, sure, I you know I don't have anything, or I feel like I am having less power to talk to that higher ranking agent. How do you overcome that, or how do you proceed with that?
Yeah. I think that you know, what is your relationship with these agents? Do you know them already, or you
Yeah,
already
well, I know them from the past brokerages.
got it? Got it.
Mhm.
And so what you could do is you could call them up and almost create a relationship where you're trying to learn from them. Okay, so that's how you can establish kind of a process of, hey, so you closed, you know, what are you looking to do long term in the next 3 to 5 years? So you can kind of start to listen to where they're at, because if they start saying things like, well, you know, I'm kind of burned out, quite honestly. I've had some agents come and then they've left. You know, that's a common challenge for big producing teams. They don't know how to scale. The only way you can scale at another brokerage, there's three ways to scale. If you are producing 40 deals per year, you're starting to max out on the amount of time that you can invest in your own real estate business without sacrificing having a life, right? So what's the next step? You build a team. So that requires recruiting agents. You got to recruit agents to your team. But the problem with recruiting agents to your team is if you recruit an agent and they start doing really well, what do? They leave your team and they go do their own thing, right? So that is a big pain to big producing teams. So you can ask the right questions to listen for that opportunity. Okay. Another way to scale is a lot of times high producing agents will get their broker's license and they will think about maybe starting their own brokerage. Well, it is extremely expensive to start your own brokerage and you're on your own little island, right? And you kind of have the same problem. Agents start producing a lot of real estate and then they leave your brokerage, right? So there's some pains there that you want to kind of learn about so you can ask the right questions to listen to if they're at that point. And then the last way to scale is you can buy a franchise. Well, a Remax franchise is $20,000. A Keller Williams franchise is $40,000. It's very expensive, and you don't break even with a Keller Williams franchise until you get at least, like, I think it's like 80 agents. So what are all of those three ways to scale? What do they require? Recruiting real estate agents, right? So what you can do is you can ask the right questions, find out where the pain is, and then say, you know, I have a friend of mine that I really think you would benefit from meeting, and his name's Wee, and he has developed a way to scale and recruit agents without having the problem that you're having, without having to lose those agents. Or you know what? Like, for example, Jeff and Amanda, they have had agents on their personal team. What's his name? Diego, right? He was a high producing agent on their team.
That's a good
Well,
story.
he was ready to go off on his own. So what did Jeff and Amanda say? They said, you know what? We're going to help you build your own team. And the same thing happened with Mickey. Mickey joined their team, and now he's building his own team, right? So what you can say is to a high producing agent, you can listen for the right keywords to that problem, or you can even ask the question, hey, let me ask you a question, just curious. Do you ever have a problem recruiting an agent, developing their skills and having them become really good, and then they leave your team? Oh my God, I just had this happen last week or last year, right? So you can kind of direct the conversation. And then at some point you can say, you know, I think you would really benefit from meeting Jeff and Amanda, because they've had a couple of agents like that. They have an entire strategy on how to still continue to leverage the investment that they made in agents without losing them entirely. Is that if I set up a meeting, would you be open to meeting with them? Right. So
Boom.
that's a way that you can kind of bridge that gap. And and what is the strategy? Leveraging the EXP platform. You haven't mentioned EXP once. It's a strategy, it's a tactic, it's an approach that you can only do at EXP with that platform, right? So hopefully that helps.
Wow, that was so good, Wilco. I'm
That's
so
a
glad I
golden
got
nugget
that.
right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But it's
Kevin,
all about, it's just about asking the right questions, exploring, you know, and you know, we're so quick to you can't find a solution if you don't know what the problem is.
Right.
You see, so you got to ask the right questions to find the problem, and then you tailor the solution to that problem for them. And that's the EX sitting down and taking a look at a new strategy that we or Tyler or Mai or whoever, that's why you just need to know the different strategies, you know? So
man, that is gold there, Wilco. So on that note, you know, let's end with your story on how, you know, on Kevin's question, right? Back then you don't produce you don't produce a lot of real estate sale. How are you able to attract Jeff and Amanda? You know, so share the story, inspire Kevin, inspire everybody.
yeah, so what I did, I was investing, right? I was looking to build an investment portfolio. So I was part of this website called Bigger Pockets, okay? And it's a pretty big website now. They have a list of real estate agents that are listed on there with their phone number, okay? So Rob was going down to Houston and he was holding an EXP lunch and learn there. So for an agent that he had recruited. So I asked Rob, hey, can I come with you? And so I started thinking, okay, I'm going to make a bunch of phone calls and see if I can get anybody out to the meeting. So I just went onto that real estate website and I made like 15, 20 phone calls. And I basically just said, like I talked to George. George is the guy that I recruited.
Yep.
So I called George, like, hey, George, listen, you know, I know this is a random call. The reason I'm calling is I'm part of Bigger Pockets. I'm an investor in Dallas, and I see you're an investor in Houston. And I just wanted to give you a call and see how your business is going. Hey, man, yeah. Like every call I made, because we had a connection with Bigger Pockets and we were both real estate investors, was just like, we were like long lost friends. We had this thing. So he was like, yeah, man, now things are good. You know, tell me about you. What are you doing? He's like, well, right now I only have 2 rental properties, but I want to get more. You know, what strategies are you? So we talked real estate, you know, just investing. And so then I said, hey, listen, I'm coming down to Houston. We are holding a lunch and learns, free lunch. My business partner has done some amazing things in real estate. I thought I'd ask you to see if maybe you want to come and listen to what we're doing. There's a new platform that's changing the entire real estate industry. You have to listen to it. It's amazing. And I would love to meet you. If I reserve a seat for you, would you come? And I was like, yeah, man, yeah, I'll come, you know, yeah, cool. So I invited like 3 people, him and another guy joined, and he sat through the presentation and he said, you know, I have 2 people that might really like this, which was Jeff and Amanda. So I said, okay, great. Why don't you set up a meeting? I'll buy lunch and we'll go do an overview, right? So we set up a lunch and that's how things went from there.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah. In fact, most of my organization is through other people.
Yeah.
I didn't recruit them.
Yep.
So I recruited agents who knew agents that eventually have helped build my organization. If that makes sense. Terry Hooker is another one. He's got like 300 agents. I recruited someone that introduced me to him. Right. Who else? You know, I've got a couple of other agents that the same way.
Bettina, Horn, you
well, Bettina and Horn were personals. Yeah, I recruited them directly, but they're the biggest ones that I personally recruited. Yeah. So
wow, I mean, thanks to Wilco, now we're all here, right, under one big you know, EXP umbrella, and especially Team Legacy organization. And it's all start with you, Wilco.
This is the most exciting stat that you guys need to remember. 1,000 agents are joining EXP every single month that don't have a sponsor.
I know. I saw that. Damn it.
1,000 agents are joining EXP without a sponsor.
Yep.
So it's just a matter of getting out there and connecting. This is free rev share.
I know.
You know, people are moving to EXP with or without you, and a lot of them are moving just directly by going to the website because they've heard of EXP.
Yeah.
So, and another exciting stat I like to share to demonstrate that you guys, anybody on this call, can have 2,000 to 3,000 agents in the next couple of years. Okay, because every 3 years, a third of the real estate market leaves, the agents leave, and a third of the real estate agents, new agents join. Okay, so there's about what, 2 million real estate agents. Okay, so times 30, that means 600,000 agents leave every 3 years, and 600,000 agents become agents. Okay, let's take the 80-20 rule. Tyler is part of the 20 rule. Okay, only 20% of those 600,000 agents are going to be producers. So let's multiply that 600,000 by 20%. 120,000 agents are becoming real estate agents that are producing agents every 3 years. How many of those 120,000 agents do you need to make 6 figures in rev share? Maybe 100, 150, 200. So there is so much abundance. Everybody on this call can make hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue share. It's just a matter of making it part of your business plan and becoming the person that's going to attract those agents.
Absolutely, yeah, and I share with everybody the calendar. So Wilco, I basically take your calendar and you know, I improve it a little bit. So if you just follow the calendar, you know, you can do that 8 hours per day, you know. But if you can just give me and Wilco 5 hours per week, you know, we're gonna make you, you know, I know it's not easy, but we're gonna make you a millionaire in the next couple of years, right? Just 5 hours a week, really focus on, you know, curiosity in other people's interest, and you know, just start building, right? Really focus on treating rev share like a business. Don't treat it like your hobby.
Become a person of influence. I was already kind of on my way because of my soccer business. I had already done the majority of the work personally to learn how to put myself out there, how to take risks. And I just applied some of those principles to real estate and just changed my language, but the principles are the same. So you develop that personality that's going to attract those agents, and you might not end up succeeding with EXP rev share, but you will exceed in another venture that you decide to do because you've decided to become the person of influence. That's the way you got to look at it.
Yeah, the skill is gonna.
Yeah,
the skill is gonna carry with you for the rest of your career, Wilco.
That's
right.
It
truly is. Yep. Yeah. Well, we don't need more manager, but we can always use another leader. You know, everything rise and fall with leadership.
Yes, that's right.
Well, Wilco, thank you so much. You know, we would love to have you again next week. You know, if you can. You know, it's just so good talking to you. And you know, thank you, Mai. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, everybody here. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I appreciate having me on.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna have this on recording, and I gotta send it out and share that with everybody.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you all.
Okay, bye everybody. Right, bye Mai, bye Kevin, bye Sydney. Talk to you guys soon, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, all right, bye Wilco.
Bye.
Thank you.